Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our virtual college fair this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We do have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time during this session. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so definitely sign up for others if you would like. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/WACAC, so you can review it at a later date. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters. And first up, we have University of the Pacific.
Thank you so much. Let me just get this running. There we go. So good evening, everybody. My name is Ernesto Espinosa. I'm an Assistant Director of Transfer Admission here at University of the Pacific, as well as a double alum from University of Pacific. So I'm very excited here to give you news about the university, not only as a transfer admission counselor, but as well as somebody who has lived the Pacific experience here. So let's go ahead and get started. So quick facts here about the University of Pacific. We are, if you didn't already know, California's oldest charter university. We were founded in 1851. We are 175 acres, so we kind of have that big university feel, but not really, because you can walk to your classes pretty easily. We have a small undergrad population of about 3,600 students spread out here on our main campus, but really we have more about 6,000 students enrolled between our grad school programs, our doctorate programs, and our undergrad. We are located in Stockton, California, so up here in northern central California. And we do have 3 campuses. We have the main campus in Stockton, which most likely is where you're going to be taking your classes. But we also have our professional schools, McGeorge School of Law in Sacramento, and our Dugoni School of Dentistry in San Francisco. So we do have also over 80 majors and programs. So good visual representation here of being a small school with a lot of stuff that students are able to study. Quick little picture here of an overhead of what the university looks like. This is just central campus. There's definitely more parts to it. And again, this is one of our residency halls that we offer to our transfer student population, right? This is not a dorm where you share a room with someone. This is an apartment complex where you get your own room shared amongst other students with a living space and a kitchen. So your own room, the only thing you're sharing is a living space and a kitchen here. So University of Pacific is unique in where we don't necessarily require students to come in with 60 transferable units, or you have to have prerequisites complete or any of that stuff there. Really, you can transfer to UOP at any point during your college experience. Students who have less than 30 transferable units at the time of their application would also need to submit their high school transcript in order for us to proceed in reviewing your admission application. Those of us who have gone to college and have more than 30 transferable units, we are simply just looking at your college transcript from whatever colleges you have attended at the time of application. You can see here that we do recommend for students to have a 2.7 minimum GPA. With that being said, we do consider students who are sitting a little bit lower below that 2.7 GPA range. It is a case-by-case basis, as we are a university that reads holistically. Your GPA does not define you. And we understand that sometimes there are students out there that have some hardships beginning college and they pick it up from there. So we are a university that does consider that there. Like I mentioned, you don't have to have GEs, you don't have to have prerequisites and a certain pattern completed at the time of your application. But with that being said, we are a university that does accept the UC-IGETC pattern, as well as the CSU-GE breadth pattern, meaning that if you're planning to go to a CSU and a UC and you want to do these patterns, but you're still considering some private schools, should you have this verified on your transcript when you apply to us, we are going to honor it, and you no longer have to do our GE breadth program there. So we would use the ones that you did for CSUs and the UCs. Again, quick little picture here of the outside. This is our dining facility here, pretty brand new building to our campus. This is what the inside here looks like. So this is where you would go to grab your meals throughout the day. And here's a little bit of student life, of course, right? Just because we're transfer students doesn't mean that we only want to come to school and just get classes out of the way. Some of us actually want to go to a university and have a little bit of the club experience, as well as the social event experiences. So this is one picture here of some of the events that we have on campus. Last but not least here, we do have 2 deadlines, of course. We are past the spring one, but for fall 2021, you still have until July 21st to apply here to University Pacific. So there's still plenty of time for you to do so. And this right here gives you a little bit of what we do to consider students for admission, right? We holistically review everybody. So again, if you went to a community college or another 4-year and you're getting ready to transfer, maybe we didn't do so well our first semester, or we didn't do so well our first year, but we picked it up after that. We are considering that grain trend there, as long as it's going up there. Personal statements and letters of recommendation are not required for you to apply. All you really need to do is submit an application of admission, along with your college transcript and or high school transcript if we have less than 30 units. And that's all it takes in order for us to consider you for admission. So this right here, this link of go.pacific.edu/transfer, I'm going to put it here in the chat. I really recommend for you to search up that link because that'll take you to the transfer page here on our website that will give you more information about how to apply. To be able to apply, the application will be up there as well. In addition to finding who your transfer counselor is going to be here at UOP. So we are all divided up. There are 4 of us in total divided up here in the state of California, as well as across California. So if you want to meet who your admission counselor is, go to that link there and you'll be able to meet that individual and get their contact information. Cool. Thank you so much here. Looking forward to hopefully talking to you here for some of you soon.
Great. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Occidental College.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is very exciting to be here and to be able to share with you a little bit about Oxy. We are a small private liberal arts college in Los Angeles. My name is Courtney Strickland-Bergen. I am our associate dean. I'm also part of our transfer team. And so if you are looking for kind of a small private school to transfer into, I hope you will think about us, because I do think that what we are offering is really unique. This is a private university of just 2,000 students, but we are in the middle of LA. We are in an incredibly dynamic city, and we are a really collaborative and diverse community. And I think all of that comes together to really support our students to be successful, but also to kind of increase your opportunities to learn from the people that you are studying with. You can see where we are here in LA. There is, of course, a lot of Los Angeles. So finding Oxy, we are this orange shaded part at the bottom of the image. We're just a little bit north of downtown. Our students have incredible access to the city, all of the things you might think of like Hollywood and the beach. But of course, very practically, it's a great opportunity for internships, for networking, for opportunities outside of campus. And our students are really, really plugged into this city. We have lots of transportation options. You are, I think, maybe the only college in LA that doesn't charge for parking and allows any student to have a car, but you also don't need to have a car to get around the city. We have great bike share programs. We have a ride share service just for our students, and we really try to integrate into LA as much as possible. Now, as a liberal arts and sciences college, all of our students have the opportunity to not only focus on their major, but to also learn outside of their major. And for our transfer applicants, we do ask that you have your major already declared. We want to know that you're going to enter and be ready to succeed in that field, but you're still going to have time while you're at Oxy to explore other subjects. And our core program, which is how we approach that, we do not require that you have all of the core requirements completed in your general education requirements before coming to Oxy, because we would love for you to get to experience some of those with us. And the core program, for example, has requirements like the fact that everyone needs to complete a class. Yes, Melissa?
So sorry, the screen is black, your screen share. I just want to make sure that you're sharing your PowerPoint and that we can see it.
Yeah, it says that I'm sharing it. So apparently I'm seeing it, but you're not seeing it.
Yeah, no, that's okay. If you want to maybe stop sharing.
Yeah,
and
we'll
then
do a
reshare.
Stop. We'll pull it up again. I
don't mean to interrupt,
pictures.
but
no, I am so grateful for it. Okay, so I'm pressing share again, but I don't know if it's actually working. Can you see anything?
Just a black screen.
Oh. Well, I don't know that we're going to fix that right now. So I will just invite all of you to stay connected to us, and I'll tell you a few more things about Oxy before I go, but do wish I could show you these beautiful pictures. So maybe the best way to resolve that is that you would come visit us in person. So as I was saying, though, in our academic program, the core requirements really allow you to study outside of your major. And of our majors, we have 34 different majors at Oxy. We have as many different programs in the sciences as we do the social sciences and the humanities and the arts. Students who transfer to Oxy have equal access to our study abroad programs, to our research programs. In fact, as an undergraduate only institution, people don't realize how much focus on research there is at Oxy. We have funded research programs. We have students who do research in other countries. We have students who do research with their faculty. It's just something that's really emphasized here. And in fact, we send more students to the Southern California Undergraduate Research Conference than any other colleges in the state. And we're really proud of that because we're one of the smallest colleges in the state. All of our students also live on campus. We are a residential college by design. Housing is required for the first 3 years, and that does apply to our transfer students. So you'd be transferring in with either sophomore or junior standing, and we would want you to live on the campus with our other students. So for the housing, you would not be living with a first year, you would be living with another transfer, maybe an exchange student, maybe another upper division student, and you'd get to really plug into the residential community. Oxy is actually one of the most diverse liberal arts colleges in the country. And so living on campus is a huge advantage in terms of building community and getting to know your fellow students. And we really value that, especially for our transfers, because we want you to be able to take advantage of everything that Oxy has to offer. And so we think living on campus and getting to build those relationships is just an excellent way to do that. On campus, our students are incredibly engaged. Our average class size is just 16 students. And so you get really used to getting to know each other and talking and asking questions in the classroom. And that extends outside of the classroom as well. With all of our 100 clubs and organizations, or our Greek life, or our athletics, like this is a place where people are really invested, are really passionate, are really involved. They're in dialogue, they're having conversation, they're getting to know each other. And we just really love that. And I think the Oxy community is definitely something that sets it apart from other opportunities. We're also really proud of our career services at Oxy. As I mentioned, being in LA has a lot of practical advantages for jobs and internships, but in career services as well, we have just found that our students are able to do great things with their Oxy degree. 90% of our students have an internship before they graduate. We know that after students graduate, up to 70% of Oxy alumni go on to graduate school. This is 20% higher than the national average. We're really, really impressed and excited by those numbers. And we do believe that our small classes and our research-based curriculum really prepare students well for whatever they're going to do after Oxy. It is unfortunately too late to apply to transfer to Oxy for the fall. We have already closed that process, but we do have a transfer deadline of November 1st for any students who want to enroll in the middle of the year, the spring semester, or a deadline of March 1st, which is our priority deadline for students who would want to enroll for the following fall. So that would be spring 2022 or fall 2022. We use the common application. And for our transfer students who are most competitive, we are seeing an average GPA of about 3.6 in college, and students who are enrolled full-time at their institution. Because you would be enrolled full-time at Oxy, we do want to know that you'll be successful in a full-time schedule. Other than that, we ask that you have sophomore or junior standing, as I mentioned, and Oxy meets 100% of demonstrated needs. So anyone who is admitted to the college, whether you're entering as a first year or you're entering as a transfer student, we make sure that if you are admitted, you can actually afford to attend. And I just think that's really critical, and we're really, really proud of that fact. And excited that we can welcome people to our community who maybe didn't realize that they would have access to it. So I just look forward to answering any questions. Again, wish I could have shown you some pictures tonight, but I'd love for you to stay in touch with us. Maybe join us for another virtual event or join us on campus. So I'll put some information into the chat so you can find out how to do that. But thank you all so much.
All right, thank you so much. So sorry about interrupting, but you did awesome. Next up, we have Holy Names.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and all right. Well, thank you so much. Excited to be here. My name is Eric Cornejo Leon. I am an enrollment counselor with Holy Names University. Holy Names is a small private Catholic university located in Oakland. We love Oakland. We have been part of this community since 1868. We are located in the Oakland Hills, so we have amazing views of the Bay Area, and we are proud to be a part of this vibrant and diverse city. There are so many things to do in Oakland. It's great food, nightlife, and lots of street festivals and fairs. Some of my favorite things to do in Oakland is to hang out by Lake Merritt, go to Oakland's Chinatown, which is underrated compared to the neighbor in San Francisco, as well as listen to music and go out to eat dinner in Oakland's Uptown. If you're more of a nature person, we have many parks in the area where you can go hiking and get away from the urban scene, as well as we are in great proximity to San Francisco, Berkeley, and Silicon Valley, San Jose. So there are a lot of opportunities for internships, and after your time at Holy Names, there are career possibilities. So we are a small university with a little over 1,000 students, which is great. We love that fact because we have a 8-to-1 student faculty ratio, which is important. So you're able to get that personalized education from your professor. And then that's also great when if you're looking to move forward to a career or go to grad school, you could have a great letter of recommendation. So as the city of Oakland is diverse, so is our campus. We have been rated regionally as one of the most diverse universities, not just student-wise, but also faculty and staff. Since we are small, there are no impacted majors, so students are able to get all the classes that they need so they can finish in a timely manner. If you will be living on campus, there are 4 different resident halls, Dunn, Durashay, Feehan, and Founders. And there's different resident styles, single, double, and then suite style is 2 to 3 people. There's common spaces where there's TVs and lounges, laundry rooms, as well as outdoor space. There's meal plans that students, if you're living on campus, you'll need to get a meal plan, but there's also lots of food right off campus. So if these are our majors that we offer at Holy Names, and if you want to go ahead and take a screenshot of this, please do so. Some of our newest majors are ethnic studies and our computer science concentration, but our popular majors are business, criminology, kinesiology, pre-nursing, and nursing and liberal arts. So these are these great academic programs, small class sizes, so students get that personalized education. Beyond the classroom, we offer all of these services are free. Students are required to meet with their academic advisor every semester, and then they could meet accordingly. We have disability support services. We were founded based on social justice. So there were 6 nuns who wanted to establish an institution to educate women and children. So we still believe in that, and we stand behind many social justice issues, and we provide opportunities for students to give back through civic engagement. Tutoring is free, there's free counseling services, as well as the career services. So students can take advantage of that while they're in school to find a job while they are taking their classes, or to help them when they're looking for their career. Clubs and organizations. Like I keep mentioning, we're a small school, but that's great because we're able to have students make an impact, become leaders, and get involved. So these are some of the clubs and organizations on campus. The most popular ones are BSU, the HNU Gamers, and Dance Force. So students, if there is an organization that you want to start, it's easy to do so. You just need 4 friends, find an advisor, and boom, you have your own organization. We are a PAC West. We're a Division II school, part of the PAC West Conference, and these are the sports that we do offer. If you're interested in that, if you're a student athlete, please go to hnuhawks.com, contact the coach, let them know that you're interested, as well as the NCAA Eligibility Center. So apply, please apply. You can do it through the Common App as well as our website. There is no application fee. It is free for transfer students. All we are requesting is official transcripts. Transfer students, we just need 24 units from a college. And then from there, we can go ahead and process your application, fill out your FAFSA. We offer merit scholarships from anywhere from $15,000 to $22,000 for HNU. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me. My name is Eric Cornejo Leon. I'm an enrollment counselor. My information is there. I will drop it in the chat. My number 510-570-0019. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoy the presentation, and I hope I hear from you all. Thank you.
Okay, Eric, if you could just stop sharing your screen. There we go. Next up, we have Biola University.
Yeah, everyone, thank you so much for allowing us to be here. Sweet, I'm gonna start. Awesome, yeah, can we see your screens, hopefully? Yeah, just to make sure. Hi, everyone, just want to introduce myself. My name is Rosa Sevilla. I am the freshman admissions recruiter here at Biola University. Just to kind of give a nice brief description of our university, we are a private Christian school in the city of La Mirada. So if you don't know where La Mirada is, I always tell students we're about 15 to 20 minutes away from Disneyland, so around the Anaheim area. To talk a little bit about our school, we are a pretty small school compared to maybe some other big schools around the Los Angeles area. We're about 4,000 undergrad students and about 2,000 grad students. Around 62% of our students actually live on campus compared to 38% of our students who are commuters. The reason why I bring up numbers, why I always bring up percentages, is just because I think it's super important to show how big our classroom sizes or how important classroom sizes are when you come to when you're starting to make a decision for a college or a university. For our school specifically, about 72% of our classes are 25 and under. So again, as you kind of go higher into your classes, right, you reach your senior year, junior year, your classes can go from 20 to 10 students, which again makes such a big impact when you're talking to a professor who who still is currently working in the industry that they are teaching, and again can really put input into your life, not just through your career or through your education, but maybe even through the personal moments as well. Just to kind of show us a couple of our most popular majors that we offer at school, we have about over 40 majors and 80 concentrations, some of them being business administration, biology, cinema, media arts, education, engineering, kinesiology, nursing, psychology, and sociology. So I just named a lot of careers. Maybe something in there is for you. Just one thing to note for sure is that nursing is our only impacted major. It's typically impacted in most universities, but everything else is pretty free game. So if anything, if again, any of these 9, and we have way more like art including, that is something that you can potentially pursue at our university. So one thing I do definitely want to talk about, because it's kind of part of who we are, is that Christian aspect. So you might have heard that mentioned that in the beginning, that we're a Christian school. What does that mean? What does Christian mean? I think a big way to kind of explain the environment that we provide our students is that all students will graduate with a minor in biblical studies. So during your time at Biola, you'll be studying, business, for example. During that time, you will also be studying Bible, right? So ranging from, Old Testament, New Testament, kind of core base level Bible classes that will actually add up into a minor in biblical studies. So again, our students really appreciate that. Again, it's a break from maybe the business side, right? If that's going to be your major or the science side of your major, or whatever major you might have, it's a good break to have to kind of invest in something you care about. Now, one reason why a lot of our students care about, Bible and our faith and things like that is that we're actually one of the few Christian schools in California that has an all Christian community. So not only is our faculty and staff all Christians or believe in the Christian faith, so are our students. So again, we provide you with this community where you can really grow, again, not just in your education, not just in your career or your aspirations, but also in your faith. And again, those things come hand to hand for us, and we want to make sure that you are well prepared for both. Now, as I was mentioning, preparing you for your career outside of college, right? In the end, it's kind of what is in it for me, right? What am I going to get out of this? Why should I go to Biola or X university or Y university, right? And again, it's hopefully so you can land the job that you want to, right? And at least at our school, about 87% of our students find themselves in a career or are doing grad school, right? More school 6 months after graduating Biola. So again, that just kind of shows like, hey, we are equipping our students with the tools to kind of move forward post-grad life. One big reason why we're able to do that is about 90% of our students actually participate in one internship during their time in undergrad, meaning that they have some kind of exposure to the field, to the career that they're interested in, even before they leave Biola or leave college. And again, that kind of just puts you, puts your foot in the door way sooner than maybe someone who potentially has never even entered the career or has barely just started in that career. So something to consider. As you can see, there's a couple, familiar names that we see there that some of our students and alumni have landed themselves in. Financial aid, right? Always a big conversation. Being a private school, typically students are always like, oh, it's so much more expensive, maybe compared to a public school. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. I think a lot of us can vouch that sometimes private school can be affordable, right? Or it is affordable if we are prepared. So again, that even shows that at our school, about 90% or over 90% of our students have one or more forms of financial aid. Our biggest one, at least for our freshman students, transfer looks a little bit different, is our scholarship, our freshman academic scholarship that ranges from $10,000 to $20,000. How do you get that money? How do you even start, right? It's actually just finishing your application. So the moment you apply and you get accepted into the university, that scholarship is awarded to you based on your GPA and or your SAT, ACT scores. Just to kind of off my head, right? If you have the 4.0, typically you get $20,000. If you have a 3.0, it's $10,000. So anything in between there, you'll get some amount of money. Typically our 3.8s, our 3.6, it ranges from 18 to 19. So again, it just shows, again, good grades can get you good money. And that's not just at our school. I'm pretty sure that's the case in a lot of places. But to kind of close this off a little bit and talk about the requirements that we have for our university. Again, the Christian aspect is something really important for us. And again, if this is something you're interested in, I assume it's maybe something very important to you as well, right? Not only are you, applying to Biola to, grow in your career and get a job and things like that, but you're also trying to grow in your faith again. So if that's something you're interested in, Biola can be a perfect place. We require a 3.0 GPA unweighted. So again, if you're around that area, you should be fine. Even if you're a little bit under 3.0, I highly encourage you to apply. And then lastly, again, once you graduate high school or you have a GED, we'll be expecting that so that we could just confirm that you've graduated or at least have the requisites as a graduate. And then lastly, a lot of students are asking about SAT/ACT scores. Those will not be required for this upcoming fall 21. And even our application is still open currently. So if you're interested, I highly encourage you to apply. For any more information, please feel free to reach out to me. I am a resource for all of you, whether it's about Biola or even college, right? I love being a resource in any way I can. So thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we can connect one of these days.
Great, thank you so much. Next up, we have Palo Alto University.
Hi, thank you so much for having us. My name is Nick. I'm the Assistant Director of Outreach at Palo Alto University. I'm joined by Sharon, who's my admissions assistant. She's gonna do a little portion here in this presentation about the student experience, some of our on-campus activities and events. So I'll try to make mine quick because her part is much more important. So let's get started. Let me share my screen here. Let me know if you can see that. Can you guys see that?
Yep, looks good.
Perfect. All right, let me present it here. Here we go. So like I said, I'm from Palo Alto University. We're located in Palo Alto, California, in the heart of Silicon Valley. We're about 10 minutes from Stanford University's campus. Our undergraduate program is Psychology and Social Action. We're actually a psychology school. So our undergraduate, master's, and doctoral programs are all focused around psychology and counseling. Our undergraduate program gives you different ways of taking the degree. You could do a 100% day option. And we are not a residential campus, so that's usually done by local students that are graduating from California community colleges. So they're the ones that will most likely be doing the day option. But just so you know, almost all of our degrees, so our undergraduate degree, both of our master's degrees, and the first year of our PhD can be done 100% online. So what this means is you could get a Silicon Valley degree without having to pay the California cost of living. So we have students from all over the US, even though the majority of them are from California, you do not have to live in the state of California to get one of our degrees. Most of our students that graduate from our psychology and social action will go on to do things like human services. They might go on to graduate school, work in mental health or community agencies or nonprofits. And I know that we've heard a lot of good things about other schools in this presentation. And I love the great locations that all of us are in all around the state of California. I think that something that makes PAU unique is that if you get accepted into our undergraduate program, you are guaranteed enrollment in all classes for your program. That means you will never be put on a wait list in the undergrad program. That means if you pass every quarter, you will graduate from our undergraduate program in 2 years. It's a completion program. So after you finish your associate's degree, you would start here. Because we value your time, we value your money, and we're not here to have you, take longer than necessary to graduate. We want to get you through the program so you can make a positive influence in your community and in our world as well, right? We have a convenient delivery on campus online, like I mentioned. You're not required to be on campus for most of our degrees, so you can get these degrees online. We even have internship programs that our undergraduate students are involved with. There's research and lab opportunities for graduate students. And even though we are a private institution, we do offer state, federal, financial aid, and even our own merit scholarships. We do not have a GPA or SAT requirements. We do a holistic application process where we take a look at your transcripts. We do an individual transcript evaluation for every single applicant. And all that we ask is that students have at least 84 transferable quarter units. It's almost around 60 semester units. So you want to finish up your first 2 years of your undergrad, and then you would transfer to complete your final 2 here. Now, we do have master's degrees. We have an MA in counseling and an MS in psychology. And if you have questions about our master's programs, I can also put some extra info in our chat later on here. And we also have doctoral programs here at PAU. We have a PhD in clinical psychology. And we also have a PsyD program. It's a joint PAU and Stanford University program. Now, Stanford University is about 10 minutes from our campus. And how this works is about 50% of the classes are on PAU's campus, 50% of the other classes are on Stanford University's campus, and we kind of share the faculty in between that program. So that would be that's definitely our most selective program. But as far as all the other programs that we offer are, especially at the undergraduate level right now, and even the master's level, the admissions, the application window is still open. So you're still able to apply to our programs. But let me stop right there so that I can hand this over to Shirin. And I know we don't have a lot of time, but I want her to be able to share some of her experience as a PAU student.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Shirin. I am an alumni of our undergraduate program. So I actually graduated last year with my bachelor's in psychology and social action. And I'm currently a first-year student in PAU's PhD program. My experience in the undergraduate program was really memorable, and I definitely gained a lot of knowledge and skills through the classes that I took. And because our program is tailored to psychology, you get to take classes that you're interested in with people who are interested in the same field as you. So you really end up having great discussions and learning more about the field and other people's experiences. There are also so many opportunities to get involved at PAU. I was a part of student council, so I got to put on some really fun events. There are also so many amazing student organizations that you can join, and they all put on fun events, guest speaker events, workshops, and all of that. I loved PAU's undergrad program so much so that I decided to stick around for my PhD. So I really hope that you'll all check us out and that I'll get to see you all on campus someday.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you both. Last but not least, we have California State University Channel Islands to finish us out.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. So before I get started, as I mentioned, my name is Catherine Villarreal. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment here at Channel Islands. Throughout my presentation, you will see some slides that may have a QR code. There, it's actually a link towards resources specifically for that page. So if you want, go ahead and grab your phone, put it in photo mode, hover through it, it'll go directly, it'll give you access to those websites. So go ahead and keep your cell phone handy and save those links as your favorites. All right, so just a little bit about Channel Islands. Channel Islands was founded in 2002, so we're actually the 23rd CSU campus. So we're the youngest of the batch. So we're still a new campus, still developing. We're only about a little over 7,000 students enrolled. We are a first generation student, highly populated. We're about like 58% first gen. One of the biggest things that a lot of students love about our campus is that we do have a really small class size. We're looking at about 22:1, so 22 students to faculty ratio. So that's a pretty good amount of size, which gives you the opportunity to reach out to your professors after class or really get that community within your colleagues. All right, so one big question is, where is Channel Islands? Are you guys really in an island? We are close to the beach. We're only about 10 minutes away. If any of you know where the Camarillo outlets are, that's kind of where we're at. We're about like 7 minutes away from there. We have a proximity about 1 hour from Los Angeles and an hour to Santa Barbara. We currently have about 70 clubs and organizations. We are 1 out of 10 safest campuses in the US, according to USA Today. Just a little bit about that. So if there's any type of emergency that you may have in campus, we actually have a police station in campus. So they will come to you within 2 minutes. So they're pretty quick. CSU CI is also ranked the 19th best bang for your bucks in the West, which I will kind of talk a little bit more about that in my other slides. We have a beautiful 76% average, because you get that good temperature because of the beach. So we average about 76 degrees. So what do we offer? We offer about 26 majors and 37 minors. The ones that are in red are our most popular majors that students enroll into. Those that have that little asterisk are impacted programs. So for example, nursing and mechatronics, those are our impacted majors. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. So for our nursing program, it's really meant for our transfer students. So freshmen are not eligible to apply, but they can apply for pre-nursing. Our nursing program is the 11th best nursing program out of the 126 nursing schools in California. If you hover through that QR code, you'll definitely learn a little bit more about the requirements of our nursing program. As for mechatronics engineering, it's really meant for our first-time freshmen, and they only enroll about 28 students per start. So this is directed more to our first-time freshmen. Now, a lot of students want to know, what type of student life do we have here at Channel Islands? So we really try to get our student engaged. In addition to, your classes, we like to have events for our students. One of our favorite ones that our students do enjoy is our doggy distressor. So you can come into campus and bring your dog with you and just relax. Channel Islands is really known for their area of, trees and grass. So it's a pretty nice area where it's like a big space, and we do have like movie nights there where students could sit in the grass and just kind of watch, a movie there. We have our student union where students could go and utilize the game rooms, meeting rooms as well. And as we are growing as a new campus, we highly recommend our students to, join some clubs and organizations where a lot of students build their own clubs and organizations. And, you could be part of that frontiering our campus, since we are one of the newest campus, CSU campus. Now, a lot of students are asking, what are you guys doing, last year during virtual time? We continue to still try to get our student engaged by putting virtual block parties, being able to still connect with your colleagues during those times. So here in the QR code, you can kind of see what we've offered for our students. And I know it's a lot of pictures, but it's definitely, we really want to take the enlightenment that nothing is going to stop us, and that we will still provide some interaction, whether it's in a virtual format. All right. So one of the things I haven't done, but I will, once we get back to campus, is our Channel Islands Boating Center. So we have a boating center where you can learn how to kayak, stand-up paddle boarding, and sailing, all free for our students. So, if you're tired from class and you just want to take a break, you could go to our Channel Islands Boating Center and learn how to sail, and all these water-based activities and programs that our students can join. So in addition to our in-class structure of our curriculum, our Santa Rosa Islands Research Center is actually an outdoor adventure where students do overnight camping trips. And what they do is they, for example, our environmental science program, they would stay there overnight, camp, and do a lot of research. They would go through the museums and, as a class. So it's not just like indoor in campus in the classroom, but we also offer outdoor adventures for our students to participate. So it's more of a physical activity that they can do as part. And even for those that are not into the environmental science, they also have it for even anthropology. So it's a pretty diverse, research stations for our programs. We do offer housing for our students. So if any of you guys are interested in learning more about our housing, we have about 100 students living as of right now in our campus, and they're actually one of the highest jobs for our campus, that if a student would like to not just be a student, but also work in housing, they definitely have a lot of jobs for our students, for our incoming class, and even for our current students. So a lot of question always comes out, how to afford, your education. So for cost of attendance, just for the CSU, one of the things I mentioned is a bang for our bucks. So you're looking at about a little over $6,000 per year from the CSU. Here at Channel Islands, 81% of our students do receive financial aid. So that's always something to kind of consider as well. So I know I'm going to wrap it up a little bit, but definitely click on the QR code so that you can learn a little bit more. And also, Channel Islands is a very few that does 2 applications per year, one in spring and for fall for our transfer students. So if you are interested into spring 2022, Channel Islands does have that available. All right, so for transfer requirements, 60 transferable units, GPA of a 2.0, our golden 4, and good standing. And, completing your transfer courses by summer 2021 if you're applying for spring 2022. All right, so for right now, we're not having any tours in place, but if you like, you can visit our campus virtually by clicking on that, highlighting through that QR code, and you can kind of walk through our campus by not even being there, but at least get to kind of see how it looks like. All right, so let me just go right here to our admissions and recruitment contact information. If you would like to learn more about Channel Islands, please, take a picture of this. You can definitely email us, call us if you have any questions. We do have live chat and our emails as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of our reps this evening. Thank you so much for joining us, for joining along, to all of our reps as well. I just want to thank you all for attending. This recording will be available in about a week on the registration website, strivescan.com/WACAC. And if you have any questions for these reps and their institutions, feel free to reach out. Again, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I hope you all have a good night. Thank you again.